what's happening, everybody? Man, I know it's rainy outside, but if it feels sunny on the inside here, if you can cut the electricity with a knife, it's because the Astros are undefeated. They're 1-0.
We've all got we've got a sun lamp on us, a metaphorical sun lamp on us.
Astro fever, man. Yeah.
That was and it ended up being exactly what you would want in an opening day. You don't want it to be boring.
No, it's not that.
Go out. Hey, you win by 3 runs. That can be kind of boring sometimes.
Okay.
I'd rather have my 2 best relievers come really, really, really close to just dashing it all against the rocks. Yeah.
Each put 3 guys on base. Brian Abreu in the 8th, walks 3 guys, gets out of it.
Yeah.
And then Josh Hader.
Hader was more of a showman about it because he just kind of said, like, nope, no outs. We're just gonna.
and made the actual score closer by giving up a run.
Yeah.
But then struck out Juan Soto to end the game. How you doing this morning, my friend? You feel?
I'm good. I feel good.
Yeah.
I've got my circle of trust already. After one game, everybody knows that in baseball you should make the sweeping judgments after one performance.
One game. Yep.
Anybody who claims otherwise is a fraud. And it won't be a conclusive circle of trust.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to tell you, right now, Hader, not in it.
Not in it.
No. I don't need to hear about Taylor Scott warming up for an hour and a half to bail out your setup guy and your reliever and your closer.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was a little nerve-wracking. I'm gonna.
Not to mention, I was surprised Framber was coming out for the 7th inning. Thank God he did.
Yeah.
Thank God he did.
Yep. Framber was. I guess if we're going, and by the way, welcome in everybody. 3-1, the Astros win yesterday. If maybe you didn't get a chance to watch it, didn't see the final score, 3-1 they win, so they're 1-0. Hunter Brown going tonight, so that'll be good. As we alluded to there, Josh Hader and Brian Abreu both walking a tightrope, but in the end, Josh Hader strikes out the highest-paid athlete in North American sports.
Yeah.
To end the game. So that was good.
It would have been incredibly annoying for multiple reasons if Soto had won that game for him in that spot. Because it would have been, as much as ESPN doesn't really cover baseball as much as they used to, it still would have been all over because that's a big moment by Juan Soto.
Oh, yeah.
And Hader robbed them of that potential big moment.
Hader punched him out, and it looked like early in that at-bat that Hader was just going to pitch around him and then I guess just try to pitch to Pete Alonso instead, who was on deck, because they went to 2-0 or 3-0. I can't remember, but I know the first 2 pitches were well out of the zone. I'm like, oh God, you're Josh Hader, man. Don't nibble. Come after. I don't care that it's Juan Soto. Come after this guy.
I was okay with the strategy. They were kind of hedging. He nibbled and then worked his way back to a full count, and then he just went for it.
All's well that ends well, I guess. But So Framber, I think, was the big story there. And Framber was a little shaky early on. I know 7 shutout innings, so he didn't give up any runs anywhere along the way. But he was, the pitch count got a little up in the first inning. The outs were hard hit. You had the very first out of the season was a Gold Glove-style line drive catch by Jeremy Pena, where he climbed the ladder big time to go up and get that.
It's the new MLB logo. I took about 7 different screen caps of that catch. Yeah. I mean, that was a hell of a catch. Oh no, Sean, when he's at the apex, and it looks like he's 9 feet in the air.
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, I mean, he's probably his hand's probably 10 feet in the air. He probably could have dunked at that moment.
Yep.
And that was an impressive catch. And he made a couple good plays in the first inning.
No, he did. Yeah. I mean, Pena did nothing to quell my enthusiasm. Nobody offensively was killer yesterday. They got done what they needed to get done. It was good to see. Christian Walker hit the ball hard yesterday. That was good to see.
Yeah.
They were hard outs. Okay. So the very first out of the season was Jeremy Pena climbing the ladder. The last out of the first inning was Jose Altuve on a play that, if you're watching on the TV copy, you're like, oh God. These two are gonna plow into each other, and it turns out that Altuve just Kelly leaks the thing and cuts in front of Jake Myers.
He did exactly what we described that Jake Myers might have to be doing, is just jumping in front of everybody, running all over the place, being a bad team player because he has to make every catch. Yeah.
In that moment where Altuve, and I think if you're an Astros fan, you watch the game, you know the exact play I'm talking about, the last out of the first inning, where there's clearly very little communication on the part of Jose Altuve as to what was going to happen on that play.
Myers was trying to call him off. Yeah.
Did that make you, in the moment, more nervous, less nervous, or to you is it, hey, it's just one play when it comes to Altuve in left field?
I think it's one play, and it's not one that you haven't seen from veteran outfielders at times. In the fact that he made the catch. Now, if he had botched the catch and taken away what would have been an easy catch for Myers, then if there had been a collision, sure, then obviously the outcome makes it a lot easier. But I'm just trying to look at Altuve as like a young George Springer. Or even an older George. Remember when it was George and Marwin that collided in the outfield, right? Was it not the one where Marwin was glaring at George?
Well, I'll tell you the collision that I remember that might be more relevant to this one because it was with a left fielder and an infielder was when, I can't remember, it was last year or the year before. It was early on when Jordan was kind of taking over some of the reins in left field. Yeah. And Jeremy Pena bounced off of Jordan Alvarez on a fly ball to left field. Like that defensive back bounced off of Andre Johnson back in the day against the Cardinals. Like it was that was the one that I was thinking of in the moment. But I'm with you. Look, Altuve is going to get better at this stuff. He went on to command Jeremy Pena off of a pop fly to short left field late in the game. Took charge. Yeah. So that was good to see. Good to see just communication in general.
Right, and Cam Smith had a near catch in right field that could have ended up being a double, but it was not an error. It would have been a nice catch if he had made it. He was sliding and would have caught it at his hip on the ground. Yeah. I think there's a good chance Kyle Tucker would have just caught that on the bounce, at least the way he's been playing the last couple of years where it looked like he was making business decisions. So it wasn't an error. It would have been a nice catch if he had made it. I think maybe midway through the season he makes that catch.
I agree.
But so far, you can see the potential for some issues defensively in the corner outfields over the first few weeks, but they'll get better. Jose Altuve, I promise you this, Sean. Jose Altuve will be a better outfielder 3 weeks from now than he is right this moment.
I think it's a safe promise. I don't think you're going out on a limb. Cam Smith was a big story yesterday on the broadcast. They multiple flashes over to his family. He had 30 people in the stands yesterday. He showed up at the ballpark yesterday, Seth. I like this moment of self-awareness. Did you see this? He showed up at the ballpark with what looked to be 3 boxes of three Shipley Donuts boxes, dozen boxes of Shipley Donuts. I like the self-awareness on 2 fronts. One, bringing donuts in for your teammates as the rookie in the clubhouse, especially after a big deal was made of you making the team the day before. And number 2, that he went to a local institution in Shipley's to get the donuts.
Well, it was a little bit more than that. It wasn't like he did it just like off the top of his head. It was requested. It's as close as it comes to hazing these days. Yeah. But he had to seek out an open Shipley. Because the first one he went to was in an office building. He probably just looked at his Google Maps or something.
Okay.
And then so he had to go find a second location where he could get the Shipleys.
Boy, sounds like heavy lifting, finding an open Shipley's in Houston, Texas.
Well, no, it is kind of tricky.
Why?
Some of them do. Some of them aren't open all the time. Well, either in an office building or there are some strip mall locations that aren't open in the afternoon or in the evening.
Okay. I mean, the game was at 3, so I'm guessing he's going like middle of the morning to go get them sometime.
Well, but the first one he went to was closed.
Right.
So he had to go. So he did. He showed, at the very least, he had a margin of error there.
That's true.
So he had some extra time to do it. He wasn't on a wild goose chase.
Boy, someone is the easy grader. I thought I was the easy grader on the show. You're giving him points. Shipley's Houston at 10 o'clock in the morning.
He went to it. Well, you should reserve your criticism for Shipley itself.
Yeah.
The one that's in an office building. Yeah. They must only be open for breakfast.
That is a thing. Like sometimes when you don't know where something is and you go to your map and it says, "Oh, here's a Shipley." That happens with Chick-fil-A in malls a lot. Yeah. Like, "Oh no, here's a Chick-fil-A." You're like, "No." You drive there. You go, "No. This is the Baybrook Mall and there's a Chick-fil-A in the food court. This isn't a Chick-fil-A." You know, yeah.
Plus, I think it was DeZenzo. Was it DeZenzo or one of the other young guys got Krispy Kreme?
Now that would be a bigger that would be a huge faux pas in my opinion, right? Yeah. You got to get Shipley if you're in Houston. You got to pander to both your teammates and Houstonians when you do this.
Cam Smith said it was the first time ever that he was too nervous to eat before the game, so he had to force himself to eat. But he did a good thing, which is he reminded himself. This is something that they do a good job of teaching the athletes these days.
Yeah.
The butterflies are a good thing.
Yes.
You got to reframe it. All it means is that you care and you're ready.
Yeah.
So you learn to eagerly anticipate the butterflies instead of letting them overcome you. So he handled that very well, and he went out and just in a season where they're trying to tell everybody to be exercise more judgment and discipline at the plate. He swung at the first damn pitch. That's right.
Okay.
Get it going, man.
I'm glad you lied. You know what? And he got the first hit out of his system. We don't have to sit here. He didn't go 0 for 3 or 0 for 4, and we're waiting on the first pitch, first hit, get it out of the way. I love that part about yesterday for sure. We're going to do this every show. Kyle Tucker, in a game in which the Cubs scored 10 runs last night, Kyle Tucker went 1 for 5 with an RBI.
Yeah. Oh, my God. So he's got to be hitting, 100 on the season so far?
He's 2 for 13 on the season so far, whatever that is. He's under 100. No. He's over 100.
Yeah,
he's like a $150, something like that.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
He was 150 entering the day, so he's probably at 125 or something.
Yeah.
So
whatever 2 for 13 is. Yeah.
Yeah. What a loser.
Yeah.
Oh my God. How did Alex Bregman do?
0 for 4 with a strikeout. The two are a combined 2 for 17 right now on the season.
For anybody wondering, trying to be Joe Baseball, he did have a batting average, and Kyle Tucker did have a batting average entering the day because they'd already played 2 games against the Dodgers.
He was 1 for 8 on the season, so he was 125 entering the game, and now he's like 150 something. Yeah.
And I apologize. He's hitting 154 right now.
Yeah, he's crushing it. So there you go. And we will continue to check on this.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. If he was 1 for 5, he batted 200 yesterday, so it lifted it. Okay.
Yeah, he was 125.
I gotta get my math together. Damn it.
Yeah, man. Yep. All right, 713-572-4610. Astros are 1-0. Opening day win. That was good to see yesterday. Framber Valdez, really good to see. 7 shutout innings. And back at it tonight. Hunter Brown on the hill tonight for the Stros.